I don't know if anyone here has ever struggled with addiction, but you feel like you're not yourself. And it's hard because I was at my worst. That was my worst time ever in my life.
So we're going to move forward a little bit because, okay, so they obviously got together in college. Don't go a day without speaking. Okay, so we're going to watch a clip that came before you proposed. Okay. That pivots a little bit to a tougher time.
4 surgeries in college. She was there every surgery. She took care of me. She helped me through everything I had. She taught me how to read my DAR. I never had to see my academic advisor because she taught me how to do all these things. I graduated with 3.2 GPA. Like, she was just there. So when I moved to Detroit and I didn't have her that first year in the NFL, I suffered from depression. I ended up becoming addicted to pain meds.
And at that point, he was almost like in cold sweats in the bed. He was like crying. And that was so much not like him. Like, anyone who knows his personality, he jokes, he laughs all the time. Like, you can see what I have to deal with on a daily basis. So I knew something was wrong deep down and I couldn't tell. And that's when he pretty much came out and told me what happened. And we kind of got him help with that. And once that was, we were past that hump, aw, babe.
Every time I talk about it, that was a dark time for me.
No,
People don't understand it. You make it to the NFL, you got money, there's women, you live in a nice house, everybody's cheering for you, and you're just not happy. And every day you in the NFL, it could be your last day. You just don't know if they're going to come in there and say today's your last day. And then you go home, and it's you in an apartment.
Yeah, he didn't have anything out there. So once I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take some time and come out there. And at the time, I was looking to
I was
start
mean
my
when
career.
I got back, too.
Yeah, you was. I was like, who is this person?
I just didn't know. A lot of it was just a pain medication. I didn't know what was wrong with myself. I felt like I lost myself. I'm my best self when she's here with me. My best season was in 2007. The whole off season she was with me.
That was a great year.
I balled out the whole off season.
You did. He was really
I ended up tearing my knee, and I was on the PUP list, and I ended up not playing the whole season. But they kept me on the active roster the whole year. I did that good, and I just felt like it was all because I had her. Like, I don't know what it's like to be single as an adult because she's been here every step of the way.
Right.
And I don't want to know.
So I know that's tough, even now, and I wanted to share it. Obviously, it's in the show, but these guys are just as funny as they are just purely honest and raw and real. And so I, obviously we appreciate you and commend you for just telling your truth, and sharing that with us.
It's hard for me because your whole life as a black man, you just told to be strong, don't cry, don't be emotional, don't share. So you don't. And being the oldest son in my house, that's just the way I was brought up. Don't cry, and then people don't understand what you go through when you're a professional athlete, and they just see the games on Sundays. They don't know the practices. They don't know the physical abuse. They don't know the mental abuse. They don't know the stress of not knowing if you're going to make the team or not. I don't know if anyone here has ever struggled with addiction, but you feel like you're not yourself. And it's hard because I was at my worst. That was my worst time ever in my life. If I didn't have this woman right here, people will never understand what it's like to just really rely on somebody else. I'm not gonna make it if I don't have her. Every single day I wake up, and it's a functional addiction. You're not walking around like a zombie, like a crackhead, but you feel like you can't function. You just hurt. And it's like if I didn't see her, I just sleep all day, or I just drink alcohol so that I could go to sleep, so that I could just get through the next day to when she's gonna be here. And this is another reason why I wanted to share, because as a man, you're just not allowed to say these things. You just gotta be tough all the time. And it's like, man, I don't wanna be tough. You know, sometimes, like, yeah, I'm the man of the house, but I want to rely on my woman sometimes. And it's important for me to share that because I think people need to hear that that's okay. I wouldn't have made it through that if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't have played in the NFL, you know. And I wouldn't be able to talk about it. And I know, and I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about what it's like to go through somebody struggling with that.
Yeah, it's funny. As Devale was going through that phase of life, I was in grad school, so he was away in Detroit. So I knew already he didn't have any family there. He would have been by himself. This was going to be our first real time apart because we literally were together the entire time in college. I could tell there was something different when I would even just speak with him. He just wasn't himself. Devale, when I talked to him on the phone, the same way we sit and we crack jokes with you guys, that was him. He was very short, very abrupt, got agitated quickly. If I'd miss his phone call, for example, because I was at school or I was working at the same time, it would be like an argument. And it was just very, very strange. And I just felt like something was wrong. And I guess that's also too part of the deeper connection that we have. It just wasn't right. So when he finally got a break to come back to New York and he was with me, it was the same thing. He was just in the bed all day. And he didn't tell me about the pain medication addiction. To me, I just thought he was taking it because, you know, you're playing in the NFL. You get injured, you have your knee. How many knee surgeries did you have? You had like 5 knee surgeries, his shoulder surgery. He had so many different surgeries. So to me, it was commonplace for him to, you know, you have a pain, you pop it. But then I saw that it was something deeper. It was something that was becoming a little bit too much of a habit. I actually reached out to one of his receiver coaches. It was literally in the middle of the night because he was in a ball, in a cold sweat, in the bathroom, on the floor, crying. And I didn't know what to do. It was such a hard time. And I think just more so because I knew I loved him so much and I just wanted him to see him through it because I knew the potential that he had. And, you know, when people always ask you, oh, you know, he doesn't play in the NFL anymore. Are you disappointed that he doesn't play anymore? And I'm like, I knew the NFL didn't define him. Devale was so much greater than what the NFL had to offer him. So to me, when he decided to retire and hang up his cleats, to me it was like, deep down I was like, great. Like I was like relieved almost because I knew at this point now he can begin another chapter. You know, so getting him through the pain med addiction was something that not only affected him, but affected everyone around him. And I encourage anyone who knows anyone who has any sort of addiction to just hold them close, you know, hold them close and as much as you can.